Thank you very much, Joy, for this opportunity, and good morning to you all. I just want to make a fundamental observation. It says the cleanup. Now what? Is the assumption that the cleanup is over? The cleanup can never be over. That is my view. When you go to a dentist and you clean your teeth and they are sparkling white, subsequent to that, you put the candy in your mouth. You put the caffeine in your mouth. You do all kinds of things. So you have to go back for another cleanup. So I think that we have to discuss this in the right context, that cleanup is continuous. And if we don't do it in a continuous way, and you do it in such a drastic manner, we'll have the effects that we are having now. So I think that let's be reminded that cleanup is continuous. And it's even more so because of a point I read somewhere where I want to share with you that something to the effect that the minds of men and women, very inventive and ingenious in crafting schemes for self-interest. So it will happen again. Because the human mind, greed, selfishness, coupled with either incompetence or indifference in the boardroom, will make it happen again. That is why we need the right structures in terms of corporate governance, which will act as a barrier to all the things that we've witnessed. Exacting accountability, exacting transparency, making sure that the directors are working efficiently, making sure that there's no longer any forbearance. Let us have the mindset that there will be continuous cleansing. These are my preliminary remarks. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Marian Barnor. She has to do with corporate governance, and she's always careful about that one. Let's show some round of applause. Let's show some appreciation for distinguished personalities here in their opening remarks to us this morning. I'll do another round of questions with them. There's one round, and I'll come back to our distinguished personalities here who are gathered here. I've seen very, very, very important persons here, and you're all welcome to this program. So I'll come back again to Madam Marian Barnor about corporate governance. And you talked about the reoccurrence thing again, and in the US, there's talk about another financial crisis again coming back. And the experts have predicted it happens, it's a cycle, it happens every year. There's an interesting analogy being placed with democracy and whether Africans, and sorry for my words, we are ready for democracy. Some kind of argument is also being made for corporate governance, that could there be a special case made for us when it comes to corporate governance? So listen, there's no room for excuse. You have to stick by this thing. Madam.
Yeah, I mean, it's been proven. There's empirical evidence about the case to be made for corporate governance. Let me say that the rules have not changed and will not change. The point is the weak implementation of corporate governance practice. Because corporate governance is about accountability. It's making sure that there's transparency. It's making sure that the proper controls are in place. And more importantly, like Dr. Atuahini said, if you look at the architecture of the governance structure, okay, in any financial institution, we're talking about the shareholders, the role of the shareholders. We're talking about the shareholders. We are talking about the directors. We are talking about management. We are talking about the internal auditor and the external auditor. We are talking about the company secretary, and we are talking about the regulator. Now, if you look at this structure, the most important pillar is the board of directors, because the shareholder sometimes is the culprit. The shareholder has self-interest, but it is the board of directors who hold the balance. But then the question is, how strong are they? How strong is the board? That is why corporate governance today is talking about independence in the boardroom. Independent-minded people who are strong enough and are able to check the shareholder who owns the business. Because sometimes the shareholder forgets that even though he set up the business and even though he put the capital in the business, there are other stakeholders, as we can see today. The employees who are suffering, the suppliers who are suffering. They didn't put capital in the business, but they are stakeholders. So you cannot say that because I put in capital into the business and the business belongs to me, I can do whatever I want. No, you cannot. There are stakeholders and there are rules and regulations. So it is important that we look critically at the board of directors. Who goes into the boardroom as a director? It is good that you have men of integrity, but the question is, what is the use of having men of integrity in the boardroom when they don't have the courage? It's of no consequence. You want to be Mr. Nice. You want to be Madam Nice in the boardroom, and you say, I'm a person of integrity, so you don't have to speak out. We don't need those people. We need people who have the courage to speak the truth. People who have the courage to make sure that the right thing is done, that there is compliance, that they are controlled. But more importantly, people who understand the business of banking. I was listening to Dr. Sedo, and okay, today the auditors are opening our eyes. They are saying that well, it's not today, it's always been the principle that, the directors are responsible for the financial statements. As for us, the auditors will only come and pass judgment. So why did the shareholder appoint you as auditors? Auditors are appointed by the shareholder to support their interests, to take care of their interests. So I don't think it is enough for auditors to say that, the directors have hidden the things. Find out, that's why you are there. That is why where there are red flags, you should follow the trail of the red flags. But as a director also in the boardroom, if we are directors are being told that they're responsible for the financial statement, we have to make sure that there's financial literacy in the boardroom. We are not turning everybody into an accountant, but if you are in the boardroom of a financial institution, you should be able to interpret and ask the questions. Should I go on? Let me break for now. But the point,
Yes.
let me go and say that it is important. Corporate governance is still the pillar on which our financial systems should be grounded.